Zosi is probably one of my favorite characters in the Red Dragon's Lair. And the reason for that is because of the way that I have designed her. So we're going to look at her cards and we're going to talk about how to play Zosi, the Alchemist, for the Red Dragon's Lair. For setting up the character so that we're going to play her, Zosi will equip the potion belt. The character card. You'll put the target card into a pile for random selection when encountering monsters. And these cards we're just going to set aside unless you're actually using the dungeons in which they go. Now you could play the game with sleeves, and if you play the game with sleeves, then you could sleeve these cards and put them in any dungeon. Next, we want to pick 2 more items for Zosi to have. The way these work is they're recipe cards, and a recipe tells you what it will do in exchange for the ingredients. So this one is Nightshade. Add 2 to any adventurer's roll or deal 1 wound. Now this one doesn't require any other ingredients. It's just the Nightshade. So in order to use it, she can't play it from her hand. It actually has to be equipped to Zosi. So I'm going to go ahead and equip that one. This one here, Nightshade. Root, 2 wounds. Garlic, move 1 wound. So I'm going to go ahead and equip that to Zosi. You can pick any of her ingredient recipe cards to equip at the beginning of the game. It's totally up to you. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to shuffle, mix them up, and then draw 5 cards. But I want to talk a little bit about these recipe cards and how they work. So with Zosi, if I've got cards in my hand and it's my turn and I want to use the energy bolt or the transference, this card requires both the Nightshade, and I could add from my hand or from an item position the root. It can be any of the root cards. It doesn't have to be a specific one because I'm using the recipe on the card that I have equipped, the Nightshade. So this Nightshade is equipped, and if I add any root to it, now I can roll a 4 or higher and deal 2 wounds when I attack. Now, if I don't have the root, let's say I want to use it with garlic. Again, garlic can be in my hand, or it could be equipped to Zosi. I'll show you that now. Let's say we've got garlic there. And let's say I've got, Nightshade and Ash. A couple specials in my hand. Okay. So now I can go ahead and use this Nightshade with the garlic to move 1 wound from an adventurer to a monster. Or I could use the Nightshade with the mandrake root from my hand and deal 2 wounds. So you can use ingredients from an equipped position or from your hand, either one. Now, when you do that, this is what happens. So I have my 5 cards. Let's get Zosi a draw deck here. So Zosi's draw deck and my hand. And I'm going to use my Nightshade. And I'm going to use my Nightshade with my mandrake root. Okay. Now I'm going to roll the dice, and if I roll 4 or higher, I'm going to deal 2 wounds to a monster. Now, as soon as I've done that, these cards go to her discard pile. And Zosi is allowed to immediately draw every time she uses a card from her hand. So I'm going to draw a card, And then I'm going to equip Sulfur Ash, because Zosi is also allowed to equip cards at any time. And now I'm back down to 4, so I get a draw again. Okay? And that's how Zosi works. So now, let's say I want to deal 1 wound and heal any adventure 1 wound. So I'll just use the garlic. I'll roll, get a 4 or higher, it's successful. First we'll look at Zosi's character card. Zosi has a speed of 9, a save of 7, and a health of 4. She has a base attack, which is her ranged attack, which will deal 1 wound if she rolls a 4 or higher. Her flip side, for solo play, or if you're just having a really bad dice day, Zosi the Alchemist has a speed of 9, a save of 5, and a health of 6, with an attack for 1 wound. And then she hits on a 6 or higher. A little bit tougher for the days that you just need a character that's a little tougher. Zosi's target card, for randomly selecting who is being attacked by the monsters. We have Poison Elementals. This is for the Surface Creatures Exploration deck. This one would go into that. Sirens is a monster that goes into the Cave of Wonders deck. Exploration deck. As is Unexpected Wish, also for the Cave of Wonders. So you get some new dungeon cards when you pick up Zosi. These are the main ingredient cards for Zosi. Now Zosi's going to mix up potions. That's essentially what the character is all about. So first we're going to take a look at all the cards that are in her deck, and then we will talk about how to play her. So the first one we have Nightshade or Weaken. History will be kind to me, for I intend to write it. Mandrake Root. Add 1 to any roll, or reduce any attack 1 wound. Need a 4 or higher to be successful with that. And the Mandrake Root card doesn't require any other cards to play. If Zosi has this card equipped, and she has to have it equipped, then she's able to use it at any time. Lightning or Invisibility. Now you see me, now you don't. Mandrake Root. Garlic, 2 wounds. Nightshade, you hide. 4 or higher to hit. Cure or Touch. Well, there's another fine mess you've gotten me into. Mandrake Root. Garlic and Shade, cure all poisoned adventurers. Garlic and Ash, heal all adventurers 2 wounds. Summons Elemental. I would like you to meet my little friend. Mandrake Root. Ash, Garlic, and Shade. Take Elemental from Graveyard and put it into play as Zosi's ally. Teleport Monster. Shall we meet again? We will neither run nor hide. Sulfur Ash. Garlic, Root, and Shade. Target monster is shuffled back into the dungeon deck. Poison or Chain Lightning. Don't call me baby. I'm not your baby. Sulfur Ash. Shade and Root, 3 wounds. Root and Garlic deal 1 wound to all monsters. Napalm or Earthquake. Burn, baby, burn. Sulfur Ash. Shade, 1 wound for 3 rounds. Root, monsters attack last, next round. Fireball or Strength. Who put this thing together? Me, that's who. Sulfur Ash. Deal 1 wound or add 2 wounds to any adventurer's next attack. Resurrection. This is no time for a dirt nap. Garlic. Ash, root, and shade. Any adventurer killed is instead healed 3 wounds. Traps or tricks. Every day above ground is a good day. Garlic. Ash and shade. Disarm trap. Ash and root. Heal all 2 wounds. Curse or cure. I don't care what you smell. Garlic. Ash, 2 wounds. Shade, cure, poison, and heal 1 wound. Pain and gain. No pain, no gain. Garlic. Deal 1 wound and heal any adventurer 1 wound. Explosion. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Nightshade. Root, garlic, and ash. 4 wounds. Flame strike or paralyze. A little of this, a little of that. Nightshade. Root and ash, 3 wounds. Root and garlic, monster cannot attack next round. Energy bolt or transference. There now, that wasn't so bad, was it? Nightshade. Root, 2 wounds. Garlic, move 1 wound. Agility or arrow. This is all I will need to handle the likes of you. Nightshade. Add 2 to any adventurer's roll or deal 1 wound. Cat. This is Zosi's friend. When you draw a friend, it immediately comes into play. The 5 on this side is the health of the friend. The 4 is the save of the friend. The friend doesn't get a speed because the friend attacks the same time Zosi does. It's up to the player who attacks first. It's up to the player who takes wounds. When you have a friend in play, it gives players a little more choice in what they do. Ranged attack, 1 wound is her normal attack, and she needs a 5 or higher to hit with that. Now, she can, of course, carry 1 item, so if you find a bow or any kind of ranged weapon in one of the exploration decks or dungeons, Cat can equip it and utilize it. But friends are only allowed to have 1 attached item. Do not believe every rumor you hear. He is powerful. Special hide. This can be played anytime, and Zosi can hide. Again, she has another one. And there should be a 3rd. Here I come to save the day. Special. Play when an adventurer deals wounds. Garlic, add 1 wound. Garlic and root, add 2. Mighty Zosi is on the way. Special. Play when an adventurer deals wounds. Ash, add 1 wound. Ash and shade, add 2. Let us be grateful to the people who make us happy. Special. Play before attacking to double wounds if attack is successful. I am the greatest. I said that even before I knew it was true. Special. Play when any adventurer kills a monster. You draw from the loot deck instead. Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. Special. Play to allow any adventurer to attack again. Give thanks for what little, and you will find a lot. Give thanks for a little, and you will find a lot. Special. Search Zosi's deck and discard pile for any 1 ingredient. Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. Special. Play to use any potion a 2nd time. And her equipment, potion belt. Item, holds potions. Potions may only be used once each encounter. So those are the cards that are in Zosi's deck.